Hello virtual village hallers, it's Kerry from Mobilates here with you in the regular Wednesday 4:30 slot for 30 minutes. A really gentle movement, standing, seated, my chair is here, a bit of lying down, and some things that you'll be able to do on your front or sitting up. Got lots of adaptations. That's how Mobilates works. We do Pilates inspired exercise, and we're always modifying things for different conditions that people have, different pain things. You can always let me know, especially if you're a regular. Pop in at hello, hi Jean's a regular. Any things that come up for you, any sort of, who's that? Hello Jackie, she's another regular. Any issues that come up for you when you're doing this sort of exercise. And hello Irene, another regular. Lovely to have you all here. Yeah, I'm used to adapting things, sitting, standing, different ways of doing the same thing that'll get the same sort of areas working. There's always a solution, there's always something you can do. So take your stance or your sitting position so that your feet are just a little wider so you feel balanced. Soft knees if you're standing, and if you're sat, feet on the floor. If you've got really short legs, it's really nice to have a pillow on the floor so that your feet can feel the surface rather than not quite reaching. So from this position, give your belly a little rub because we're going to breathe into the belly for this first bit. So take that inhale. Feel the belly and the ribs here swell. As you breathe out, they just go back a bit. So you can see it on my t-shirt. Here's the breath in. See the creases go here, and then as I breathe out, you just pull back. Breath in, we're just scooping the arms softly up, and then at the top of the breath, as we breathe out, pressing down, breathing in and breathing out. So the moment I'm breathing my breath, my exhale breath out through my mouth, I'm blowing out. I'm going to change it. Next time it's going to be like I'm steaming up glasses before I wipe them, spectacles. More of a sigh. And it's a really gentle pressure down, gentle feeling of pulling back towards you. One more. Breathe it all in, sighing it out, and then bringing our feet in. So we're going to bring them in so they're parallel. If you look down, you want a gap for a paperback book between them. That's whether you're standing or sitting. And then pop on your crown, think about the points, my fingers are the points, send the points up. So I feel the length, I can feel I've grown taller. The crown of your head is going upwards. A little wriggle. From here, hand on the belly, hand on the back, if you like, optional. But just a little tightness across here, just like a cold breeze has come past. And then a little pelvic tilt. It's in the lumbar, the low back, so you can see this bit on my bottom sticks out a little bit, and then it tucks under. Yours might not be the same shape, it depends on the curve in your spine here, or whether it's flatter, more arched than mine. So many variations. And you're just cueing into how does it feel. It's not a judgment, it feels bad or good, it's just, it feels like that, okay? It might affect how I'm going to move today. That's it, make it smaller. And find that place in between. That's my extreme one way, that's my extreme the other way. And I'm finding this place in between. I can see this little split on my hem of my t-shirt. You can see that move as I do this, and I'm finding this spot. It's about here for me. Right from here, we'll take the head round one way and the other. And as we're doing this, softening across here, feeling just a little bit more openness. I can also feel at the back, these shoulder blades just come a little bit more towards each other, just a bit, so I can hold it. And then coming to the front, and then this feeling almost whoa, like I'm leaning back. That's a bit too much. I'm going to come forwards a little bit. Taking my head back. So it really feels like I've got that head against the wall. I've got my extra chins. And from here, from one side to the other, like you're pouring something out of your ear. So you don't need to go very far. And we're trying to pivot on our chin. So you can put a finger there if you feel like your head is sort of going all over the place. It's turning when you don't want it to. Just put that finger there to pivot you. And then we're going to have a little pause. Taking this chin down, but feeling like you're pulling back. And then we're going to roll to one side and roll to the other. Now you might like a bigger roll so that you go round in a circle. Oh, it's not my favourite for me. But we really vary when it comes to necks. And I see people in my classes do all sorts of things. Smaller, bigger, and it's just part of the variety of what works for us all. So with me, I really like that side feeling. That really works for me. And just a little bit at the back. Bring it forwards. And then let's roll our shoulders. So breathe in as they go up. Breathe out as they go round. So just as you're rolling your shoulders, I was just talking to Andrea from Virtual Village Hall before we started, and she's in a different part of the country from me. We were comparing weather. So I'm in Devon, we're next to her, and although the day started off cool, it's pretty warm now, the sun is out again. But she was saying where she is, it was Lincolnshire, it's not so good. So if you want to let us know, it's very British, isn't it? What's the weather like where you are today? Might be you're not here because the weather is really nice and you've gone outside instead. You're going to do it on catch up. Last one. You know, I like to catch up with the comments after class. I have a little look as we're going through and then I catch up just at the end before I teach something else. Right, next, going back to those feet. So if I come back a little so you can see mine in the camera. So both pointing forwards. I haven't even got my socks on today. It's that one, which for me is a big deal. Again, this gentle tension here. So imagine cold water, not really ice cold, but a bit cold, giving you that tension. Oh, is it cold where you are, Jackie? I think you might be somewhere far up the top of the country, I seem to remember. We're just taking a heel raise up. This area stays even, so we're not looking for that. We're keeping that controlled, and we're just bringing up the feet like this. Now I find on this side, my big toe is especially stiff today, so I'm just taking the pressure very easy on that side. I'm not pressing as hard as I am on this side. I have a little bit of stiffness in both my big toe areas, so it's something I just bear in mind as I do the movement. Some days this side's normally good, but at the moment it's not. So, right, let's try both together. Perhaps we'll take our arms up. Now if you're in the chair, have your arms just here or here. They seem to work better that way for the chair in this position. But if you want to take them out to the side, you can. This feels sort of right. And then we're going to take one leg up a little, just enough to give a little rotation, circling, drawing a little squiggle, writing somebody's name, just all the directions, and then take it down. Bringing this leg up again, and you can always hold your leg up if that's easier, especially if you're sitting, just to get all the directions for that ankle, all the clicks and clacks. And then taking it down. And then next, what have I got? Oh yes, taking this leg in a circle. So we're back into a bit of balance. This time this leg, see, it's drawing a circle. Now mine's going in the air and then just skimming across the ground. You could do it all on the ground. And if you're sitting, keep the leg bent and just draw those same circles. It's more about getting your hip moving. So this standing leg or sitting leg, supporting leg. Stays as still as you can. But what you can do with this is get the arms, whoa, going outwards. One more this side. Just steady ourselves, have a little shimmy in the middle, and then get that foot, just drawing that circle. You feel your body weight come down onto this leg, so there's balance, weight bearing, and then just a little bit of outward movement for the shoulders. And you can see my palms are out, arms are relaxed. Oh, my ankles wibbling. That's it. And definitely breathing. Last one. Give them a little shimmy. Take the legs a little wider. And just really swishing your hands, letting them turn. And we're turning at the waist here and the wrists. So you can imagine that you're doing this through sand, like you do with toddlers, you know, and you have like a play table full of sand and you're just putting your fingers in it, and drawing shapes and letters, or just feeling the sensation. Could also be water, and you're imagining warm, bubbly water. We're going to take this a little bigger. So start to let your feet move, come off the floor a little. This is just the same if you're sitting. And then we're just going to let the arms come round a little more. So if you're standing, it looks like this. And if you're sitting, start to use the chair to help you. So your arms fly round, but you don't want to hit them into the chair. Just use the chair just to grab hold of, just to give yourself a little bit of traction on the waist rotation. That's it. And then bringing it here. Just pause for a moment. And then we're going to do a little hip hinge. So on this, soft knees, and then you don't need to bend them any further. You're just sending your bottom back and forwards. I'm putting my hand there so you can see what's moving. So my hips go back and then they come forwards. So I'm here, I'm right in the crease where the leg meets the body. I'll show you the sitting version in a second. And the knee bend doesn't really increase, so I'm not going down like that. Don't need that, just like that. And if you're sitting, resting your hands here, hinging forwards, straight back. You're not rounding the head or anything, just keeping that back straight, just like you're sitting up, but you're coming forwards. Doesn't need to be a lot, it could just be like that. Feel your belly doing all the work on this one. If you feel comfortable coming further forwards, you can. That's it. And then we'll pause there. We're going to start raising our arms, hinge forwards, let them swing back. So this is a softer move now. So this is the sitting version. Standing version. Softer in the knees. See that bottom go back each time. And the back's not rounding, but if you want it to, if it feels good, you can round and then you can lean back the other way. My legs are really straighten on that one. So it depends what your back likes. If you've got osteoporosis, generally we don't do too much forward bending with the osteoporosis. A little could be okay, depends on the level of your osteoporosis, but I would normally recommend you hinge with a straight back for that, like that. But if you haven't, and you like to get that full movement of your spine, that's how that can look. A couple more. And then we're going to take ourselves downwards. So it might be that you're going to take yourself to a bed, something firm. You don't want to be on top of your duvet, you want to just be on the sheet and the mattress. I'm going to move this chair back. You also might want a cushion. I'm going to move the camera. Very sunny. Irene, you're up in the far north as well. Maybe it was you I was thinking of with the far north and not Jackie. got my cushion. I'm just going to turn my planner over so I can remember where we're going. Sometimes my head is rather full of different classes. Oh, right. So when you get down on the floor, always spend a bit of time wriggling around and just getting yourself comfortable. And I always find there's a particular part of you that needs more wriggles. For me, it is the hip and back, just feeling like they've done all their adjusting and sort of clunky feelings and getting that sorted. And my back is higher up and my shoulders, they settle quite quickly, but it might be different for you. And just check your gaze and how things feel. If you're very tight in the low back, it can help to put a cushion under here. Or if you feel like your head's going backwards, you often get both if you've got that tightness. But that can really help that very tense feeling in the low back. Place the arms out. We're going to take a breath into our back, into this bit against the floor and the side here. Now, we don't want it in the belly for this bit, so a little bit of tension. I think of this cold feeling just breezing across here. Keep that tension there. Send the breath in here and down into this surface. And as you breathe out, feeling your ribs going in a little, feeling this tension increase a little. And then you've got to release a bit, can't keep it all at that level. Breathing in here again. And breathing out. On the next one, we're going to move a little, so breath in. And as we breathe out, tilt your pubic bone towards your nose, and you can see this bit of me sort of scoops in here, it's rounding here, feels like my bottom's tucking under, and then roll away as I breathe in. So that little space is behind my lower back now. Breath in. And breathing out, getting that tilt. I take my hands away, I'll put them wide so you can really see. Breath in, that little space here, and breath out, that space goes. Now this time coming a little higher. So you can see a bit of room here, bottom of the floor. I'm going to put my arms down here, but I'm not really pressing into them. Just checking that my feet are facing forwards. And then rolling down, but bit by bit, by bit, by bit, by bit. So this stays tucked under as long as you can. Breath in. Tuck under, pubic bone towards nose, going up higher. So I'm pressing through my feet a little here, and I can feel the pressure rippling up my back and coming higher. This is as high as I'm going to go. And what I'm thinking about here is that my knees, it's almost like I've got a bit of washing line right behind both knees, and someone's pulling them towards the window opposite me. There. Feeling like my heels, I'm trying to pull them towards my bottom. You get all sorts of sensations here. And then I'm going to slowly take myself down, rib by rib almost. Certainly vertebrae by vertebrae, that's what I'm aiming for. I've got a little bit just coming up that doesn't like to go down quite as delicately as that. Comes with a bit of a big lump. And just let it relax, breath in. Taking it up again. Now it might be enough for you in this position, but another thing you can add is changing the arms. So this is the first thing you could change, just to take your forearms up, palms are facing each other. You can see my toes coming, and that's another bit we could change actually as well. Just take one foot up, the other foot up, the heel stays on the floor. And then hands down. Feel yourself going down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lovely. Going up again. Hold it up there. This time I've taken all of my arm up, but you don't have to. You could stay like that. So it could go here. It could reach. Now that might be your place. Mine are quite happy to go further behind, but look, they're going wider. You can see they're not in here. That feels just uncomfortable and tight. That feels nice. And then you can even leave them up here as you start to bring your back down, keeping my bottom tucked under. It's more of a stretch. If it's too much, take the arms back down. But if it's okay, oh, that feels nice. And then take the arms downwards. Right, slight change coming up. Just give your legs a little sway first. And you're in this position that we're often in at the start of this section. Just slide your feet quite a bit closer to your bottom now. So we're changing the emphasis. It looks similar, but it's different. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to bring our bottom and pelvis straight up. Like that. And then it's going down. No articulation, just straight up and down. Breath in. Breath out. Up we go. Breath in. Straight down. Up. Down. And you might be able to do it. You don't quite touch as you go down, or you're just kissing the floor. And you can feel thighs working here. Hamstrings start to work harder. Glutes can squeeze as well. And this is a good one for the glutes. If you're not feeling it enough, you might even need your feet slightly closer. I need mine quite close. Oh, that makes the difference. And then we're going to, just at the peak of the music, just hold it there and give your glutes a little extra squeeze. And then straight down. Have a little wriggle. Make sure you have a breath in, and taking it up. Give a little squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Relax, take it down, have a little wriggle. Feel your pelvis just settle down into the floor again. Getting comfortable, turning the muscles off, everything's got a bit softer. Not in the thighs so much, but definitely here and underneath. We're going to do one more, breath in. Push up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take it down and bring your knees nice and wide into your chest. I'm going for the underneath, going onto the thighs, just for the little rock. But you could have them here, you could have them here, wherever is comfortable. And I like the legs quite wide, so I'm getting as much of my sacrum, my lower back, as the lower bit of the pelvis as well, on the floor for this rocking side to side. And then take the legs down further away, just like we are at the beginning. So we're like that sort of position. Arms out in a T shape. And then put your legs together. And then we're going to just let the legs sway one way. And you can see how we're going right onto the side of the foot. But this upper bit of the body is staying on the floor. So you can really feel this area right across here, working hard. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, use the energy here, this tension, to pull you back. And then over the other side. Now you can see the soles of my feet. I'm hoping they're clean. Breath in. Pulling yourself back. This next one's going to be slightly different. Breath out and over. An option to extend that top leg. And then you can bring it up like that. Take it down. These legs are glued together. Breath in and over. Extend that top leg. If it was too much bringing it back, you can put it back down again. If it was okay, see what it's like on this side. My foot's long, it's not excessively pointed. And then soft sway, take them apart. We're going to roll onto our sides and over onto our front. Now, if you don't like going on your front, if you sit either on the edge of your bed or on a chair or on the floor, and I'll show you this position sitting in a moment. But otherwise, on our fronts, you might like, if you tighten the lower back, a cushion just under here, or you might like your cushion here for your forehead. I'm fine with it straight down. I like my cushion here. Legs are long, close to each other, but they're not stuck together, don't need to be. Slight tuck here, so just so your back doesn't feel arched and uncomfortable. Arms are nice and wide, so they're in these right angles, these sort of L shapes away from my body, fingers reaching forwards. I'm going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, I want you to keep the pressure on the arms really light and just take the head up, and you're looking straight down. Crown of your head is reaching away and then going down to the floor. And just keep that going on your breath out, but keep the pressure on the floor light under your arms. Don't press here. Just imagine you're on very thin ice, and at the same time your belly button is also on ice and you're pulling upwards. Might not feel like much changes. If you are sitting, what you can also do, be in the same position. Just take your head back like it's going against a wall, right at the back here, and then let it relax. So if I show you from the side, it's the same thing sitting. And my arms are just either side of me, roughly in line with my ears. That's what I'm hoping they are. And then relax for a moment. Pop your hands under your forehead and let your bottom just wriggle from side to side. And then we're going back to that same position. So this sort of goalpost position or cactus, these L arms either side of our body. Check everything's comfortable. If you need to be wider, up a bit, down a bit, it's all good. Right, this time the head's staying down and I've got this lovely view straight down onto this mat. Slight tuck under here, breath in, and the arms are coming up and down. And the place that I'm really wanting to work is here. I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together. So as I breathe in, the exhale is my cue to just start squeezing at the back and taking down. You might even want to keep them up and just let them go up and down, up and down. Oh, it's quite strong. And it's the same if you're sitting. So the head's not doing anything. Just feel those arms just pulling back with the squeeze on your shoulder blades. Just there. And then turn it off, let the bottom sway. Forehead supported by your hands. And then the final move, like in this position, is to combine both. So this is really getting some upper extension into your back and this top bit here up to your head. So imagine that you're on that very thin ice, so you're trying not to press down. Thicker ice below, this area down here is on thicker ice. Legs are reaching away, slight tuck under, breath in. Head comes up, looking down, arms come up and down. Up, very lightly down. Up, holding it and down. Up and down. Up and down. One more hold. Up, holding, looking down, and then take it down. Sway your bottom. And then we're going to push ourselves to sitting. So you might want to roll onto your side first and push yourself up that way, or you can push back like that and then take yourself to sitting. That cushion comes in handy again for the sitting. And I want you to sit so you can sit upright. Now some people find, well, most people find that often rounding at the back. So if I say sit upright now, you get that sort of position. You see I'm not very upright. So if you take your legs apart and the soles of your feet towards each other, there, you can see the hands, we've just pulled it, upright. The feet don't even have to be touching, they can be apart like that. My legs are quite long, they're not sort of pulled in here, they're in this sort of diamondy kite shape. Sitting up tall. Going to rest hands here. So we're going to do a little turn each way like that, but I don't want you to think about what your head's doing. I want you to think about what's happening here. Right on your bottom ribs, I want you to think about those doing the turning. You are sitting down, so you've got this ground beneath you. So you can feel that pressure right on your sitting bones. Take a breath in, breathe out, turn to the center and turn. So I mentioned osteoporosis before, and turns, you take small turns. If you've got osteoporosis, you don't need a big turn, just a small turn, so you can keep those parts of your body moving. You just don't want to strain it. You don't want to really push and max out. And trying to keep height in your spine, everybody, as you turn. So don't feel yourself go lower and lower, but feel that the crown of your head is being pulled upwards, and you're keeping that as you turn. Last one. Then sitting comfortably, whatever you want to do. I'm going back to cross-legged. And we go back to the start. Scoop the air in, breathing in, breathing out, pressing down, scooping in and out, sighing that breath out. Breathing in, I'm going to look up towards my hands, and sighing it out, I'm going to look down. So I'm starting to really bring my chest upwards. Gives a little bit more extension into the back. Feels good, especially if you've been doing lots of bending over, gardening. One more like this. And then just rest the hands. Turn them out at the sides. We're going to breathe in again, slightly different though. Into your fingers touch. And then bring your hands into your chest. Give yourselves a clap. Well done. I hope you found that really nicely calming. You got lots and lots of different movements, whichever positions you were doing. It was lovely to see you all again. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Be back next week.